Craig's stuff. Craig's stuff. Craig's got a lot of stuff. Yeah. Craig's stuff. Craig's stuff. Craig's got a lot of stuff. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Craig's Stuff. My name is Craig, and this is some of my stuff. Today we're finally taking a look at the next wave from the Diamond Select Lord of the Rings series. We have wave 2, we have Frodo and a Nazgul, or a Ringwraith, whatever you want to call them. Very, very excited about these two. Well, specifically this one. Let's be honest. Wave 1 was a hit and a miss. I thought with Wave 1, Legolas was kind of weak, while Gimli was pretty cool. And I feel like I'm gonna feel the same way about this one. I feel like we're gonna get a really big hit with this one and a miss with this one. But who knows? I gotta open them up. We gotta take a look. So anyway, let's take a look at the packaging. They are the exact same packaging as the previous wave, with a little bit of differences. Obviously, it says Nazgul here at the bottom. Window front with the figure inside. Same on both sides like that. Then on the back, you can see Wave 2 is the two figures. There's Wave 1 at the bottom. And then you can see the Build-A-Figure Sauron with the two figures. Man, very excited for Sauron. He's gonna be a big boy. I guess you might as well take a look at the packaging with him too. Obviously, he's very small. And the Sauron's parts are very, very large. So, same thing as this one. Anyway, I think it's time that we pop these suckers open. Alrighty, so here are our two figures, but before we talk about them, we have to talk about the accessories that they come with. Now, first off, we'll talk about Frodo. This is Frodo's accessories. And by accessories, I really just mean the Build-A-Figure pieces, pretty much, because you just get the upper torso, upper chest area and shoulders of Sauron, which looks awesome. Really excited to get that guy together. And then you get his cloak. So this obviously comes and folds out. Has a little piece of plastic in there. Just, might as well keep it folded at least, until the figure is complete. Then you get this is really the only accessory that you get for Frodo, and it is this vial. I believe this is the Light of Arundel, which I'll be honest, I had to look up what the heck this was because I didn't remember what it was. I believe it was given to him by Galadriel, and you Lord of the Rings people can correct me if I'm wrong about that. This is pretty lame, just all silver, not painted at all with like anything special. It's just really tiny and not much going on. Actually, I almost forgot, he does come with, I guess you can consider this an accessory, but it was already on him and I completely forgot to take it off. He does come with Sting, so you do get that. And Sting looks pretty good. I think the paint on there is nice. The silver, brown hilt. Looks good. The sculpting looked great. I mean, that's pretty cool. So that is an accessory that you do get. And of course, it does fit right into the scabbard or the sheath. All right, so now let's take a look at what the Nazgul comes with. We, of course, get the lower section, the butt, if you will, of Sauron. And again, looks really cool. Can't wait to get him together. Then you get 3 different swords. I didn't think to look any of these up, if there's any significance to any of these. And I apologize. All you Lord of the Rings people and my friends who know how much I like Lord of the Rings are probably making fun of me for not knowing what this is. But this is a nice sword. And it's really cool. And then you got this dagger here, which is also really cool. It comes with the sheath. Very nice, just black gunmetal type paint on there. Not too much going on, but, they don't really need that much. And that's cool. And then this last sword here, once again, in a sheath, like the sculpt on this one. This is crazy looking. Really cool sculpt as well. And the paint, they're pretty much painted all like the same. There's not too much, just like very dark black on the hilt, and then like gunmetal-y on the blade. So all of those I think look real good. Although I'll be honest, I was looking at the figure. I don't even know where the heck you're supposed to like hook these things onto. Like, I don't even know. This didn't look like there was anything on him to use those. I don't know. It's very strange. Anyway, now let's take an actual look at the figures. Alrighty, so first off, we have Frodo, who I just want to say, right out of the package, I'm actually pleasantly surprised with him. Let's go right into the face. I really think that looks awesome. I think they did a really good job painting the face. I think it looks just like Elijah Wood. I feel like Diamond is so hit or miss on the faces. I mean, if you saw the, I think some of the Avatar figures, they just look like horrendous. And this looks great. I think they did a good job. It looks just like him. I mean, you see some paint work from customizers online, and of course they're going to be better. But this, mass-produced, I think looks really good. I think this is better than most like Marvel Legends and that kind of stuff as well. So I think they did a good job with that. Sculpting, of course, looks great. I think the cloak or whatever jacket he's wearing looks really good. Paint looks nice. They could have done a little bit better maybe on the feet, because they just really sculpted in the hair, you can see, but then they just like did one coat of brown over for the fur, and they just did not really paint that. It just, you can still see all like the flesh tone. They just did not bother to paint that, at least on the one side. This side is better. That's more brown. Like they just did not paint this side for some reason. It looks like it like wiped off with some water or something, and they just forgot to paint. In fact, this is really glossy when this is not. Maybe they missed their foot on mine. I don't know. So maybe it's just mine that has this problem. I don't know. Another sheath for Sting looks good. So yeah, I mean, it's a cool looking figure. Now I think let's take a look at the articulation. Let's see. His head doesn't really look up at all because he's got that little bit of long hair. He does look down. His head does tilt a little bit side to side. And of course it does go all the way around. Arms don't go up too far, like less than a 90-degree angle. They do go all the way around. There's unfortunately no upper bicep cut there. And then he does bend a little bit at the elbows. You really don't get much at all from that elbow bend, which kind of stinks. But he also spins there at the elbows. Then at the wrist, he spins and it just goes, it goes in and it goes out. Although I'm definitely losing some paint there. One thing I noticed, it's just weird because they use two different types of hand. You have like this like Oakman hand here, and this one's like a grabbing hand. Would have been nice for this figure to maybe come with some extra hand options, because it's like he's so tiny. It's sick that he doesn't come with any extra hands or like other stuff. It's just very upsetting. Well, back to articulation. Then at the waist, he does spin. Looks like all the way around. Legs go about that far forward. They don't really want to go back at all. His butt is kind of completely in the way, but it does go back a teeny bit. He does have the splits. And of course, this is a little bit of soft material, so this does get out of the way. Although, actually, no, I actually popped, now that I'm looking at it, this does not really go out of the way. Look at that. I popped there's supposed to pop in right there. I guess it's probably supposed to be glued in, and I just popped it out. But luckily, it's just made to just kind of pop back in. So if you need to re-glue it, it's no big deal. In fact, I might just leave it out so that way I can move him a little bit more. So that's no big deal. Then this figure actually does have the upper thigh cuts. So you have that, which is not bad. He has a single jointed knee, which doesn't really go too far. He also spins at the knee. So he spins at the knee and at the upper thigh. So it's kind of strange. Then if you notice, his legs are angled really weird here, which is kind of, I don't really understand the angling of his legs. I don't know, that's very strange. His feet go forward, they go backwards, and there is ankle pivot as well. And you can really see a lot of the paint chipping away there. But honestly, his articulation doesn't bother me too much. It's not the greatest, but Frodo's not supposed to be the most dynamic character in the world. He's not supposed to be Spider-Man. He doesn't need to have like this crazy articulation. He's also not a fighter. So yeah, he has, he does take up his sword when he had to, and but he's not, he's not Legolas. He's not Gimli. He's not fighting in the battles. He's not he's not doing crazy fight scenes. He doesn't need to be the most dynamic of character. So it's not that big of a deal that his articulation isn't that great. Anyway, now let's move on to the Nazgul. Alrighty then, so here is the Nazgul, and he looks really, really good. Especially like he just looks gorgeous. But I'll be completely honest, after just looking at him a little bit and playing around, it's not that good of a figure. It's just like, here, look at the first thing that I noticed when placing him down is this. Let's move the camera so you can see with his feet don't even touch the ground. Like, look at that. His feet are lifted above the ground. They're just being held up by his robe, which is just slightly lower than his feet, which is really stupid. I hate that kind of stuff. You know, even if you move around his feet a little bit, you can, I mean, they do touch if he's leaning forward, but you can see they just don't touch the ground. And that's just really lame. That's really, really lame, and I really don't like that. But in terms of like sculpting and painting and everything, I mean, he looks really good. He's a gorgeous looking figure. I've always loved the design for the Nazgul. I was actually one for Halloween one year when I was a kid, so I've always loved the look of these guys. And he's just, because, you know, he's like death, basically, and they just look super cool. He's just a badass demon dude, and whatever. It's just cool. Not too much going on in terms of paint. He's pretty much all black. There's a little bit of like this gunmetal on the bit of the armor, and you can see the armor is painted underneath here, so his legs have that, again, that metal shine with the wash. Same with his other wrist there. Around here, there's a little bit of whites to add into the black to just bring out the sculpt a little bit. But overall, it's pretty much just the plain black. You can see underneath here too, there's a little bit of wash over on his chest. So yeah, it's just, he looks really good. Now in terms of articulation, this is a guy, I should not have expected much from a robed character made of very thick plastic. So I don't really know what I was expecting with this figure, to be honest. For his head, you get pretty much just, you do get a little bit of tilt. I mean, it's in there. There's a tiny bit of tilt in there, I guess, kind of. But he does look to the right and left. It will go all the way around, I guess, if you need it to. Then his arms do go up to a little bit less than a 90-degree angle. They go all the way around. He has the upper elbow cut there, which is actually kind of weird because it's actually separated from the elbow. So you can see this piece actually spins where the elbow doesn't. The elbow itself is separate, so it's kind of weird. It's a separate piece. He has that single jointed elbow, and this is one of my biggest problems with the figure. This just looks absolutely ridiculous. He bends his elbow, but the piece, his robe is still shooting out this direction. I think that's nuts. I think maybe they should have designed it where when his hand, because that way his hands could be always like this, or they could have given us a second piece to replace it for when his hand is up. But this just looks ridiculous. The fabric obviously would not be shooting forward when he lifts his hand up. So I just don't like that. I feel like that totally limits its posability, because even if you do, it can do it. It just looks ridiculous, so you wouldn't want to do it. So that really just hinders it, in my opinion, quite a bit. Then he actually spins underneath the elbow, so you have the cut up top there and below. I don't really see the point of having both of them. It just seems silly. Then at the wrist, he does spin, and it does go forward, and it will go back a little bit as well. Then he's got articulation in the chest area, which you kind of have to move around the robes because he's got so many different robes. Let's see. You can see he's got the upper chest articulation in there, so it does spin. He does actually crunch forward a little bit, and it does spin, and he does have a tiny bit of tilt. Like the joint, I think, allows for it. He's just not really going to do much with it just because of the robe is so thick. And look how thick this is. Look how thick this robe is. This is like, you can barely bend it. It's like soft plastic, but it's very thick. I don't know why they didn't just use fabric. They could use fabric on this guy. He would just look gorgeous. Just crazy. Probably would have been cheaper. I don't know. Who knows? Then at the legs, he does kick forward all the way that much, and even this allows it to. He does kick. He can kind of go backwards, but you're not really going to get anything because, once again, he's got this giant cape in the way. He does split. If you want to do that, you can have him do the splits. It looks kind of ridiculous, but you can do it. He does have the upper thigh cut in there. He has nice double jointed knees for when you want your Nazgul running a marathon. And then at the ankles, he has forward, he has back, and of course, there is ankle pivot there as well. Frodo only stands about a little under 5.5 inches tall. The Nazgul stands about 7.25 inches tall. And here you can see them standing next to each other. Obviously, Frodo's quite a bit shorter. And here they are standing next to the Mythic Legion's Red Shield Soldier. And here they are next to this SH Figuarts Goku. And here they are next to the McFarlane Toys Geralt from The Witcher. And here they are next to the Marvel Legends Gibbon. Alrighty, so overall, I definitely don't dislike either of these figures. They're not perfect, but they are, there's still quite a bit wrong with both of them, and it just makes me so sad because Diamond does so well with sculpting and paint and stuff that it just makes me sad that they just hurt their own figures, because they could do such a much better job, and they have the ability to. They just choose not to for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why they don't look at other companies and see what they're doing and say, how can we do something similar? It's just surprising because they both look good. I mean, they could have been a couple more cuts on Frodo maybe, and maybe a few more accessories. I think it's ridiculous to charge the same amount for these two figures when you get more accessories with him. I mean, yeah, you get a couple pieces of Sauron with this guy, but like one's a cape. Obviously, they can do soft goods. They could have made this guy all soft goods. I don't know. It's just like, again, don't dislike them. I just have to, I gotta complain a little bit. That's what I'm doing. I'm reviewing it, but I'm glad to have them, and I do, I can't wait to get the rest of the Fellowship and have Sauron and have them all on my shelf. So it'll be cool once it's all done. Anyway, if you like this review, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Please check back every Friday at noon for brand new videos. Please check out my Instagram. It's at Craig Stuff. I will see you guys next time. Later.